event.
This is my second year.
This is a great and awesome event connecting to the community.
So yeah, we urge you to join. Here's a great turnout.
So for those of you who are not here this year and have business, make sure that you're here next year because it's only going to get better every year.
So I will be back next year. So thank you. Business Social, it's awesome.
So people who aren't here, what would you tell them?
You're missing out. Come out and have some fun.
Grant Browning, and I'm the founder of one of Toronto's largest Caribbean media groups. With over 20 years of branding and marketing, you can guarantee that I've met some pretty amazing people. My biggest pet peeve is hearing people refer to successful entrepreneurs as overnight successes. But the truth is, there are no overnight successes, just entrepreneurs. Real entrepreneurs with big dreams and a desire to make a difference. They're willing to overcome all the odds just for a chance to taste success. That's exactly what this show is about. Business, success, strategies, the dreams, the struggles, and the victories. We're here to pack a hard punch and knock our dreams into reality by bringing you real stories and experiences right here on The Gloves Are Off. Welcome, everybody, and I probably blew Dave's head off. We're good to go. This is a special edition of The Gloves Are Off. I must say, first off, hello, everybody. It has been almost like 4 or 5 months since I've been on, and I couldn't think of a better way to start it out this edition, because it's a special edition, than with my original partner of The Gloves Are Off right here, Brandon V. And then, of course, we have my other partner for Real Talk, Alyssa Mahadeo.
Mahadeo.
How do you say it?
Guys, if you see what's going on behind the cameras right now,
Do you even know me?
in the office is crazy right now because we got speakers in here. Everybody's having a good time. We have a jam-packed show for you. Excuse me. Yeah, it seemed like I haven't had a few. It does seem like that right now. We have a jam-packed show. But anyways, we have a jam-packed show. We got quite a few of the speakers for the upcoming Toronto Caribbean Business Social, TC Business Social, and man, it has been a long time since I've been behind camera, in front of camera. In front of camera. I've been behind the camera lots of times, but
the cameras missed you. Former co-host here, you know.
Former co-hosts.
I can't believe we're already slurring our words, guys. What's happening here?
Really?
You know where this is going, don't you?
It's too early.
Yeah.
It's too early.
So for those of you guys that don't know me, I am Grant Browning. I am the CEO of Carib 101 Media Group, which is the umbrella company for Toronto Caribbean Newspaper, TCN, and Carib 101 Radio. And we also put on, as a conglomerate, putting everything together, the TC Business Social. The event itself was put together for one reason only, and that was to engage the community. And I see on a daily basis where different businesses, they open, they only know how to do what they specialize in, but they don't know how to market, they don't know how to do other things, and sure enough, what happens later on is you see them close. And it's usually, it stems down to, a lack of knowledge and know-how. So this is one of the reasons why we wanted to create this platform for this, what you see behind us here, the Toronto Caribbean Business Social. There are 2 parts to it. There is the Next Level conference series, which I'm excited about. Brandon V is the host. We have some incredible speakers that are there. We have some amazing panels we've put together. The other side is 80+ vendors. That is the market zone. It's pretty incredible what's going on there.
Yeah, we've got tons of people who are going to be coming out that day as vendors who are going to be advertising their services, their products, and themselves as entrepreneurs, in the community.
I agree. You're trying to be so professional right now.
No, I'm not. I'm actually trying to rein everything in.
I'm not funny.
So this is what happens when Brandon enters the room. This is what the gloves are off. You used to be like,
this is why I wasn't on the
focus.
show.
It was a 1 hour show, and like half an hour of it was just laughter, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I remember we were going down memory lane, but we had Patrick Bet-David on the show. Yeah. And that we spent most of the time giggling, including him. So I mean, it was an interesting show. But
it was a very interesting show.
So I wanted to give you guys, before we start bringing in the speakers, just an idea of what to expect when you go in there. So, I mean, when you guys picture, when you walk in there, it's going to be very different. You're going to have steel pan playing. You're going to have vendors that are all over the place. You're going to walk through the whole vendor area into the conference area. This conference is not, well, what did you see last year?
You know what? I've been at this event, I think, 3 years in a row. And I've just watched it go from strength to strength. And I got to say, the event in itself is an experience. Okay, it's not like something you walk into like business. It really is an experience, because when you go and you see music, you see soca, you see dancing.
You're dealing with Caribbean people, so
it's an excuse for a party. That's what it is, really.
A business party.
Business party.
No alcohol though.
No. But it's an amazing place to go, because the energy is very, very high. When the energy is high, then everybody has such a great time. We've been there as vendors. I've had the chance to be there as a keynote speaker last year, and just the event is very professionally put on. It really does help everybody in every way, shape, and possible. Just the knowledge, the business connections, the networking that you have. There's so many different aspects and components to make up this one event, and to think what goes on behind the scenes. You have no idea the craziness that goes on behind the scenes, but how professional it is on the front end. Because Grant, you do an amazing job, and the whole team does.
Does an amazing job.
And I'm just so excited to be a part of it this year, because it is really going to the next level.
And you're coming at Brandon's coming at a whole different angle this year, because he's going to be hosting it. I'm excited because, I mean, as you can see, Brandon's personality. It's going to be fun.
We brought Brandon on because we were talking about this briefly before the show, but Brandon has this charisma about him. He has this way of lighting up a room when he walks into
Why don't we just say what happened when he walked in the room here?
That's what I said. Basically, everyone was already laughing. Brandon didn't even walk into the room yet.
Brandon walks in. He's the king of hugs. And it was just like, you know when Brandon enters the room. You just know when Brandon enters the room. So that's what's exciting, is we got Brandon as the host.
It's an honor, you know. It really is such an honor. I mean, because seeing it from a speaker's point of view, I understand what it is they need. I also understand what it's like to go up there and speak and have to deliver something. So to actually be the host, actually just bringing on everybody, is going to be a very different experience for me at this event, but it's going to be so much fun, and just to be a part of it is such an honor. So thank you, Grant.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, because Brandon gets what I'm trying to accomplish. And the thing is that conferences like these saved my life personally, because I mean, I came from a very interesting history, from living on the streets to later on working as an oil changer. I wasn't really going anywhere, and it was my first mentor that actually brought me to a conference, which Brandon knows the type of conferences I'm referring to, and it just blew my mind away. And at 18, 19 years old, my heroes became business people, you know, business icons. And that's kind of, you get addicted to it almost, that feeling, that whole thing, the need to learn and, you know, hear people's stories and not compare yourself, but you relate to their stories, their struggles, and how they got to where they are. And that's the speakers that we have put together. I mean, you got some incredible speakers. Brandon's got an amazing story, which I know he's going to share during his whole day, right? And we got other speakers that are going to be coming on. Plus, we got some speakers that have accomplished huge things, like Simone Denny, who is an internationally renowned artist who, to this day, is still traveling the world. She just shared, I guess about 2 weeks ago, she's going to be on this big, I'm talking like 20, 30,000 attendee concert in Australia.
Wow.
It's a 5-day
That's
event,
huge.
right? And she's one of the headliners, right? So I mean, that's how, like, I mean, the status that she has, and she's going to be talking about staying current in today's world, right? Go ahead.
All of these speakers were are handpicked. They were hand chosen because they have something to offer the community, and we've seen that in them, which is why we've invited them to be a part of this.
Yeah.
And even I think the Business Social is somewhere, it's a place to see your ideas come to life because you want to get excited about business. A lot of people kind of come into business with an idea. They're like, you know what, I think this is what I want to do with my life, or I have a passion for this, so I'm going to start this type of business.
Yep.
And that's a lot of the people that do come to the social. That's why they're coming, because they're coming to advertise whatever products and services that they have to sell, or whatever new invention they decide to come up with to make your life easier.
Yeah,
Think about it, right?
But there's a lot of, I mean, the quality, I mean, I know a lot of these guys. Personally, I've had quite a few of them on my show. But, you know, the quality of the speakers is just amazing. Just the knowledge that they have behind them. It's not just theoretical knowledge. It's proven track record knowledge.
You can see it in their successes.
You absolutely can. You know, you can measure it. And when you can measure somebody's success, you know that they don't just talk the talk, they actually walk the walk. But with that is you gain experience. And with experience, you learn the nuances, the little things that don't get taught in books, the little things that you don't hear on cassettes, that sometimes it's that little nugget that you get that changes everything for you. And you can go and spend, you know, $5,000 for an event that lasts all day and sit there and get absolutely nothing out of it. Or you can go there and spend the whole day and just in 1 second hear one sentence that changes your business, you personally, your personality, whatever you're doing completely. And you know, sometimes when you look at that, there's this huge amounts of money you got to pay for these events. But when you think about what it is for this here and the amount of speakers that are here, I know I'm going to learn something.
Absolutely.
You know?
And make sure you guys connect with the speakers because they all have special promo codes that actually gives you 25% off the tickets itself. So, I mean, you're paying $20 for a general admission ticket to hear. We calculated it up. It's actually an accumulated amount of business over $2 billion.
That's crazy.
That's how much business that's been
yeah.
accomplished between all the speakers.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just crazy. So $20 to come hear some wisdom of people. Too many people that are out there, and especially today where social media is so easily accessible. It's easy to go do videos. It's easy to do all these things. People sell the idea of success, right? They buy my system, but it's really important to make sure you're getting it from the information from credible people. People that, like you said, that are walking the walk, that actually, will you laugh at it?
I'm not. I'm listening to you. I'm listening.
She was like, amen, preach.
Not like we're driving Porsches or anything.
But business, I don't feel is something that you should learn in school. Business is something that you have to learn through real life experience.
Yes.
Through the experience of people who have met with success.
100%.
Like in school, when you learn business, you learn the fundamentals, like the fundamentals, like the base structure. Like this is what you should do foundation wise.
Framework.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the framework. But after you leave school, you kind of have to now build your whole business around a plan that you've created.
Yeah.
Then you've got to figure out how to make it profitable. You got to start making money because otherwise you can't buy that Porsche.
But you know what I think? You know what I think? Yeah, totally. You know
No
what
comments.
what I see from these guys as well is that even if you don't have a business, even if you're not a business person, even if you're not thinking about doing a business, just the quality of personal development that these guys have gone through, just to sit down and listen to what they have, it will open your mind to so many different prospects within you. So it actually changes the person. And sometimes you may be like, well, you know, I'm happy at the job that I'm in. Well, how could you do that job better? How could you be better at what you do? Or how is it you could utilize some of that information and turn it around to somewhere in your life that you could actually implement it and benefit you as a person?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not only for business people. These are personality strategies. These are business strategies. These are so many different
It's
other
personal growth
things.
as well,
Personal
yeah.
development, personal growth. So it just fits into every single category right there. So, you know.
I want to. We got to go to break in a second, but what I want to do was just take
That
a
was
quick
quick.
step back. I told you it'd be fast.
Real fast.
Doesn't mean you're done. I want to take a quick step back for 1 second, and I want you to tell people what you do.
Okay, so what?
Who is Brandon V?
Brandon V? I have a very varied past in the respect of, you know, I've done a lot of businesses. I come from a network marketing background. I've done retail, so on and so forth. But currently now, I'm actually the vice president of field development for a company called iWealthy, which is a financial company. It's a holistic financial. iWealthy stands for Innovative Wealth Education, and we're here to basically just help people understand what wealth is. Understand what the financial field is, and basically take people from one step to actually become becoming wealthy, not rich, becoming wealthy and creating legacy wealth, but doing it in a holistic manner. So we take care of the person first. So, being in that space, being in that field, learning how to deal with people and how to grow teams and so on and so forth has taught me so much. But, the thing that I love the most is always being the student. And, even if I wasn't hosting this event, I would be at this event because there's always something to learn. No matter how much you know, there's always something to learn.
And the one thing that I've always respected with Brandon, there's two people that I honestly can say that I look up to for this is both Brandon and Gerald, who will be in a little bit later. Gerald Johnson, they're masters at relationships. And when I say relationships, we were just talking about this before the show, building and fostering those relationships without asking for anything in return, right? And Brandon is a master of it. It's some of the things he's actually going to be talking about from stage, sharing some of his story in between and stuff.
How can you help me and how can I help you?
Absolutely. He's like, should I answer that?
Now you're getting me in trouble.
I don't understand why it had to go there.
The gloves are off.
It wasn't going anywhere, but it... So
Sorry,
before we go to break, I also have to ask Alyssa, why don't you tell people who you are and what you do?
Now?
Well, sure.
So my name is Alyssa Mahadeo, and I work here at Care 101 Media Group as the operations manager. I'm a reporter for the Toronto Caribbean newspaper, and I also host the Real Talk on...
and she's a professional slayer.
I'm a professional slayer. That's just the truth of the matter here. But I've been working with the company now for 3 years, and I've just been working. I think for me, working under this business has helped with a lot with my own personal growth and development, because I'm a student coming out of university with no real background in business or in even entrepreneurship, things like that. But I kind of know where I wanted my career to go, and I knew the things that I wanted to learn, and I knew that coming into a business like this would allow me to grow in that sense.
Did you write that down?
No.
So the one thing I say, and Alyssa's role in all of this is she's actually orchestrating and putting a lot of this together. She's going to be the go-to person at the event.
I'm the chaos manager.
Yes.
Chaos manager. I like that.
We need to change your business cards.
Chaos manager.
Is there fire? I can put it out.
So, and Alyssa is really good at pretty much running the business as well, so, and running the event. So I'm excited. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Brandon's going to be here. Alyssa, I'm kicking you out.
Makes sense.
You didn't make the cut.
No. I'm sorry. Tried my best.
Make sure you keep it locked. We'll be right back.
T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Great. And how's your experience been so far?
I'm loving it because
This is my first year here, and I was so excited.
I've had so many people come, so much traffic. I'm absolutely tired.
Because of all the exposure that I got from this great event, I was able to grow and evolve and create my very own label.
It's been a fantastic event.
This is my second year.
This is a great and awesome event connecting to the community.
So yeah, we urge you to join. Here's a great turnout.
So for those of you who are not here this year and have business, make sure that you're here next year, because it's only going to get better every year.
So I will be back next year. So thank you. This is so awesome.
So people who aren't here, what would you tell them?
You're missing out. Come out and have some fun.
And we are back. This is an after hours show, so you can imagine the craziness that's going on behind studio. Alyssa has changed.
She has changed a lot.
Why, Alyssa, your legs have gotten a lot hairier.
I like your head, you know.
If you're just tuning in, you're watching a special edition of The Gloves Are Off with myself, Grant Browning, and we have special guest Brandon V. I had to think about that because I'm remember which way I'm pointing at here. So we have Brandon V. and we have Hugh Anthony, who is a certified lifestyle speaker, author, lifestyle coach, storyteller, and part-time
King of Style.
King of Style.
There you go.
And I was going to give him a hard time and say something different and really throw him off, but I figured I'd go easy on him. So, and we're here today. We're here today talking about the TC Business Social, and both Hugh is a speaker, and you, Brandon is the host for the entire event for the day. So, Hugh, why don't you tell people a little bit about yourself? Don't give away all your secrets.
Okay,
You gotta save it for the stage.
well, thank you for having me on this special edition of the Gloves
Absolutely, it's been special all night.
It's about to get even more special.
Oh my God, you got that, Brandon.
I got that right.
But really, it's an honor to be here and being a part of this amazing event that's coming up May 6th, 2018. The TC Business Social.
Yes.
There's a plug.
And
yes,
to my extreme left, not this left, or great host Brandon V in the house. Good to see you. So, what about me? I'm Hugh Anthony. Just a fun-loving,
good
guy, having a great time in studio. But really, just to say, I'm honored to sit on the panel, The Power of the Universe, and doing whatever it takes. And really, how can I help is always a question. So we have an amazing team that I'm a part of for the Business Social. And what I can offer is just really look at me as a reflective practitioner. I'm there to learn and help you. When I learn from you how I can help you, then you'll hear more. Because then when it comes to the Power of the Universe, like the energy in the room a while ago, just before getting in studio, it's just totally off the chain.
You think it's crazy on camera?
You have to be here.
Yeah, you got to be here to see it. And really, when you connect with people like Brandon, yourself, Grant, it's all about energy. Mm-hmm. It's about big hearts, big laugh, and the opportunity. How can we help you be your best self? And that's what really I'm about, because service is the rent we pay for a living.
Absolutely.
And it's in the giving that we receive. Mm-hmm. And for me, really who I am, it's that lifestyle coach, that certified lifestyle speaker, or that keynote speaker, that storyteller who wants to help you understand if you're going through a mess, it's helping you with your message. If you're going through a test, it's helping you with your testimony. If you're going through a struggle, it's helping you with your purpose. And if you're going through pain, it's going to give you your power.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about the degrees you got?
Oh, no. Like,
one or two?
One or two? More, he's got more than the thermostat.
But thank you. You know, it's always a privilege to really bring the best of, you know, what life has to offer and what life helps to teach you. And, you know, when you called me, you know, I'm like, okay, I got to make sure I'm done with work and just get my mind here. But yeah, I am an assistant professor adjunct at Ryerson University and here in Toronto. And really, when we talk about learning, I've had the opportunity to really do international relations, politics, you know, so you don't get out of that, Brandon, in any way. It's life.
Yeah.
When you have a West Indian heritage, you're going to talk about that. And pretty much learning at the doctoral level, the whole thing of, you know, recreation and leisure, how do you have fun? How do you make your life fun? And pretty much I meld that with my own experiences and energies about living and giving and how I can help people really understand that I'm a conduit to help them uncover their passion, unfold their purpose, and share the power of their story. So my question, as Brandon would say, how can I help you? And that's really what's all the experience is about, both the teaching, the learning, and the giving and the receiving. Is how can I use all of that métissage of experiences to help you? Because if you ask me really who I truly am, I'll say, oh, I'm an oniophile, you know, give me some more wine, rum, you know, I'm happier. I'm a coffee-phile, give me some good Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee, you know. Or say, I'm a cinephile, let's go see a great movie. So really, it's what I enjoy that defines who I am. It's not so much the certification, the qualification, because really, those are blessings, that's part of the journey, but it's really what brings you joy. And Brandon talks about that, you know, working with people, working with developing people, teams, groups and stuff, and just having the opportunity to be a learner. Because the greatest lesson in life always comes from the student, not the teacher.
It's true. I'm not ignoring you, by the way, right?
No, I'm in gut. I'm listening. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, but it's
good stuff.
So you tell me about yourself, man.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, so, you know, it's really bringing that and really taking it to the next level. And what I have to commend is that the Toronto Caribbean group, you know, just seeing that this is happening yet again. It's an amazing platform. And I'm not saying it because I'm on the panel, but I've seen this event grow. I've listened to some of the speakers, I've met some of the speakers, and I'm saying it's gonna be a smorgasbord of great energy. You need to come out. That's what I'm saying. Whatever you're doing, make sure you clear your calendar for May 6th. Just come out, because they're amazing people that are gonna just pour into you. Be ready to receive.
So I want to back up because you hit something which was interesting.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna switch it a little bit.
Okay.
A smorgasbord of greatness.
Yeah. Okay.
As you can see, guys, like, I mean, the qualifications, like, you got a professor that's here. You got a nutty professor.
That's on point. That's going to be my new business card.
But the qualifications of the people that we put together, we've hand-selected this year. Like, we've really sat down, thought, okay, how can we add the best value? And that's what we were going for this year. There's two discussion panels. You're actually on the panel with me. We're going to be talking about the power of the universe, goal setting, and doing whatever it takes, which is my personal forte.
No, and Brandon, to be serious, who better to learn from? As I let the audience know, your story is powerful. Yeah, you know, like, you didn't realize that your mess was going to be your message. I gotta give him that $100.
Don't worry, I took care of it.
Thank you, Brandon.
You're
yeah.
welcome.
Yeah. No, but Brandon and I can relate to you in so many ways, because if you don't have a message, as I said, you won't have a message. If you don't have a struggle, you won't know your strength. If you don't have tests, you won't know what your testimony is. And if you don't have pain, you won't uncover or unfold your purpose. And you are the embodiment. And that's why I know that this event, really, when you look on life, career, and business, who best but someone who's been in the gutters, understand what it is, Brandon, and bringing that and creating a platform, not just for multiple forums, but an amazing platform for us to share with people who are willing to receive.
And who do you think this?
Oh my God, he needs
I know, right?
Mercy.
I'm blushing, man. I'm blushing.
Who do you think this event? What kind of person do you think this event is for?
So that's a great question. And this event is for that entrepreneur who is young, that person who is transitioning and like, what do I do next? It's for that creative professional who's been sitting on this talent, this smorgasbord of great experience, and like, how do I get to the next level? This event is about getting you to make a decision. So if you've been pussyfooting,
get a ticket.
Get a ticket. You know where?
That's it.
Yeah. Get a ticket. Yeah. And what I like when we appeal to people who just have an idea and do not know where next to take it. Come hang out at the booths. See people who had an idea and make it into a business. See people who had an idea and make it into a lifestyle.
Well, I mean, it's also, networking. There's tons of entrepreneurs, different businesses in and outside the community. I mean, even if you feel stuck, in where you're going, I mean, that's what we're pushing out right now is life passing you by, because I've been there. I'm sure you've been there. You've been there, where you get in those situations where it's like, damn, I know I can do more. I know there's something better out there. And these are the type of places you need to get yourself at. Pull yourself off that couch, get into the car, and go. Because, I mean, space is limited.
Hook me
Space
up and
is
get
limited.
A ride. If you don't have a car, hook us up and get a ride over. Yeah, form that, TC
I forgot
business
Uber
social.
in here.
But you got to be there, because one of the things I learned earlier in the drive over is that the distinction between not working and networking is one letter. And if you're not working, you need to start networking, because it's networking that gets you working. Not working.
You getting all this?
Yeah. So
taking notes.
So this is what the TC Business Social is gonna do for that person looking on and thinking, what next do I need to do? Just as I say, haul all asses. Come on over, because this is elite networking. I'm hanging out with Brandon, like
elite.
Hello.
Right.
Hey, I'm just in the same room with you.
No, but
you to be in the same building.
If you're listening, he's gonna be an amazing host.
Yep.
But you gotta hear the wisdom he's gonna pour into us for that day. So you gotta be there. Grant can tell you, the event is not going to be the same, because Brandon V's in the house.
Next level.
Just look at last year when he got on stage, because Brandon was a speaker, and you got on stage, and it was, when I reviewed that, I'm like, okay, I know who our host needs to be this year. Because as soon as Brandon got on stage, he changed the whole environment of the room. It was just like, hold on. He took control, first off. Second of all, he got the DJ. He's like, put on some music, get people moving. Yeah. And he got everybody up. Everybody in the room was up. And that motion, that emotion that started getting created in there was really good.
It was almost like a darn house party.
Yeah.
It's like, and kudos to you, because the team made the right decision, because this is taking the event to the next level.
Absolutely.
Totally. And I'm excited. Like, I have tons of people. I was saying to Grant, who want to come out, I'm like sending them the link. Go on, get your discount. Like, yeah, you hook me up, you can get your discount. To come out to this, because there are two sides to the event. There's a complimentary aspect and there's a paid aspect to it. Come, take the time, invest in yourself. The best return you can make is to invest in yourself, to come out and experience the TC Business Social. Understand what the next level means. It's about life, it's about career, it's about business, but it's about making your best self come alive.
And don't, it's not like, I mean, okay, so when you're in a plane, the first thing you do is you help yourself, right? If the plane's going to go down. But the second thing, invest in the community. Everybody talks, I hear this talk all the time from people. It's like, yeah, we need to be able to support our own and all these different things. Come out and do that. Come out and support the business owners. Come out and support the speakers, right? Come
Brandon,
on.
I want to do something. I want to show this. Like,
hey, it's showing up.
No,
nice.
I want to show this. I'm unapologetic about showing this.
Yeah.
Because you know what? This is the best assemblance of minds that you can. The value you're gonna get is priceless. So investing in yourself, come learn from those who have gone through the mess. Come learn from those who've had the struggle. Come learn from those who've had the pain. Come on, because we have people who've brought in over $2 billion worth of business. My friend over here, like VP for iWealth, like, come on. You see my finger? Yeah, but no, come on. You know, I'm sitting with the CEO.
You gonna take a picture?
Yeah, like, so, guys, you know, I'm just making this appeal. Brandon, tell them again. Invest. You said it.
Yes, 100%. Guys,
the best investment you can make.
Best investment in yourself.
You first.
You know, because what you do, when you invest in yourself, when you can help yourself first, then that tails off. It becomes like a domino effect. It's a ripple effect that when you help yourself and you invest in yourself first and you put your own oxygen mask on, then you empower yourself to empower other people. What better way to have success than to help others have success? And this is exactly what people like yourself, Grant, Simone, and all the other speakers have done. They've invested in themselves. They've created something of substance to be able to give away, to say, take this knowledge and this information and take it away, put it into your DNA and create something for you in your life, your career, and your business, and let it happen.
You see why he is the host?
The host?
Yeah. You see.
Oh, hold on.
See, that's why he's the host. But beautifully said. And really, again, you know, Grant, I want to commend you and the team here at the Toronto Caribbean, you know, media group, because when you talk about being community focused, we've had this conversation. I've worked with the team, and one of the things that I've learned, Brandon, is that this group put their money where their mouth is. And what's amazing about this is to see how this event, I'm looking for it on the calendar. Like, you cannot not have it. Like,
absolutely.
Below. Yeah. Because there is a group of individuals, there are people who are emerging who need this. You know the impact of business conferences. You know the impact of events, Grant. And just seeing how this has mushroomed and blossomed, the blessing it has brought in my life personally. I have clients who've come to this event over the years, and they're like, so Hugh, you're gonna be there. I'm like, you don't ask me, you just say, when am I showing up? You know, and that's what happened, because we now build a community. And when we talk about community, it's really building on the best that perspective the community has to offer and sharing that, because you and the team have assembled an amazing cadre of speakers. And I'm like, when I think even just of Mishimi, like Canadian hip-hop pioneer, I'm like, mercy. Like, I am going to just get to hang out with Mishimi. Like, I love music. Well, what's a West Indian without music? Like,
right? No life. Game over.
Right? And then you look like, so it's a star-studded cast. of wisdom. Because, the good book says wisdom is better than anything else. And I see this like as my main event for the year. Literally, like, if May comes up, the only thing, my sister's birthday, I love you, girl. But if I don't see, like, okay, I'm getting the messages about May and the TC Business Social, Grant, no, I'm not even calling. I'm driving up.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. And the question is, and this is what I love about you and the team, is let me know how I can help you. And this community focus, you've always reached out to me, Grant. I remember when I worked as an executive director for a nonprofit, it's like Toronto Caribbean newspaper just gave. I'm like, Jesus, what can I do for them? They were giving.
Yeah.
And then I realized, if you're community focused, it's not about receiving, it's about giving. And the Toronto Caribbean Business Social, it's not an admission, it's an investment. So see this as an investment and come get what you're getting complimentary, or the other word we use, free. Come get what you're getting free. Let us pour into you as you're willing to pour into us. And that's why we have Brandon in the house. He's big enough to take it out.
He'll take everybody out, man. But Hugh, and I know you're involved in the community just as much as I am, and I know you've probably identified, because Hugh is a certified coach. He works with a lot of people, mentors them, and one of the common things I always see in the community is those business owners. I've walked in and it's always a telltale sign every single time. There's nobody in there and it's like, how's business? Well, it's good. They're watching Netflix. You're watching them, and
my God.
like, I mean, we're laughing right now, but it's a serious thing, because these are people that their dreams and their nest eggs and everything go into the store or the restaurant or whatever they have that they're doing, and guaranteed always within 6 months within 6 weeks to 2 months, you see a for lease sign up. Always. And those things, I look at it and I'm like, this could be avoided. This can always be avoided. Like, I mean, if people understand certain things, and I mean, I got two of speakers here, and everybody that I get in business with or get involved with, the first thing I start harping on is social media, not advertising my paper. This exists already. This is moving. This is shaking. I'm not worried about it. But for people to get the word out is social media. It's what I specialize in, and I cannot be around people without trying to help, right? And that's where community focus came from, was because we look in the community. It's not about giving money. You don't build a strong community by giving them fish. They don't know how to do anything, right? But if you teach them how to fish, they can do it.
Absolutely.
Right? They live, they survive. So that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to create different platforms and different ways of doing things within the community to think different, so that way we can actually help the community grow.
I like when, Grant says, Brandon, we're trying. Amazingly, you have been doing. You and your team have been doing amazing work. And, you situate it, because you're continuously evolving. But one thing you said just a short while ago that really resonate is, if you know, and I'm speaking to you, if you know you're struggling in your business, then this is your opportunity to move from struggle to strength. This is your opportunity to make that next nest egg a wealth egg. We have Brandon V here. Pull him aside and say, how can I strategize?
Yeah, man,
because the opportunity to really have access, as I said, networking, the difference between networking and not working. So having access to network with the best minds in the business, entrepreneurs who know, who've lost it all and regained, who know that they don't know where the next meal or the next rent was gonna come from, but now they can pay just about any bill. They don't have to. You talk about social media, like, I've learned so much just hang out with you. It's no, seriously, I've learned so much. And how do you leverage that? I couldn't pay for that wisdom. And the question is, Grant is available. Come pull out his jacket at the event. He's not just going to give you the pretty smile. He'll make time for you. So come on out. We have an amazing, as I said, cadre of speakers. And what we have to remember is that Sunday, May 6th is not the day to miss. It's the day to hang out with the best minds in our community.
100%.
We've
right?
Yeah, I know. Okay, so we're done. The rest of the speakers don't have to come on. So, guys, we have gone way over before break, so we're gonna take a quick break. I think we went like 2 segments here. It's all good.
Thank you.
You were dropping bombs. You were
Yeah,
dropping nuggets,
absolutely.
man. So we're all good. I'm blushing. So it's not the heat. You know? Actually, got some color going in here.
Finally.
Anyways, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll see who comes next.
Great, and how's your experience been so far?
I'm loving it because
This is my first year here, and I was so excited.
I've had so many people stop, so much traffic. I'm absolutely tired. Because of all the exposure that I got from this great event, I was able to grow and evolve and create my very own label.
It's been a fantastic event.
This is my second year.
This is a great and awesome event connecting to the community.
So yeah, we urge you to join here. It's a great turnout.
So for those of you who are not here this year and have business, make sure that you're here next year because it's only going to get better every year.
So I will be back next year. So thank you. This is so awesome.
So people who aren't here, what would you tell them?
you're missing out. Come out and have some fun.
And we are back with the gloves are. And we are back. Guys, this is an after hours. Rogue gloves are off.
Rogue.
So like this is.
Rogue.
If you're just tuning in, you're here live with the gloves are. With myself, Grant Browning. I am the CEO and founder of Care 101 Media Group. We got pictures going on at the same time. As you can see, if you were tuning in, we have some of the speakers from the upcoming TC Business Social. Hugh got prettier again. So it went from Alyssa to Hugh, and we were wondering what happened. But now Hugh got very pretty again. So we have the most beautiful one of all, Cher, from Cher's 5-Star Catering. Woo! Oh, yeah, we gotta give her yeah. How's yours? Did I kill him?
Oh, sorry, dude.
No.
Okay, so Cher is... Okay, I'm going to say something that's really cool. Cher is an amazing person. She understands social media. She probably is one of the only people that I have ever met that selflessly promotes anybody and everybody in the community, which is one of the reasons why she was one of the first people that I had contacted and said that I want to have her on the panel. And the reason why is because she understands community. You understand how to promote. You understand what it takes to do whatever it takes to build your business, because Cher is like always working from cooking to, delivering the packages, whatever you want to call it, the food. Multitasking.
True entrepreneur.
I support Cher 100% whenever we need food. it's Cher. And I mean, it blossomed from, we were just talking about that when Brandon and I first started together.
Yeah.
It was a one-off thing because Alyssa and myself, we were doing a radio show and Cher was a guest, and I can't remember what happened to Alyssa, but I had to call Brandon last minute. I said, how do you feel about being a co-host? So we're reunited and it feels so good.
And there it goes.
People are gonna be like,
they're gonna be like, let's tune off.
Where's the rum bottles? Like, there's something going on here.
I swear
Right?
there's water right in here.
H2O.
But I gotta tell you something is, I remember the first time I ever met Cher on the show, and I came in and I gotta say I was pretty nervous because Grant said I was pretty nervous.
You get nervous.
I got nervous. It was Cher.
It wasn't me.
But no, it wasn't you.
It wasn't me.
But you know, she came on the show, and it was the first time that I was actually helping out hosting. But just the way Cher was and Grant, they just made it so easy. So easy. And I got to tell you that I've watched Cher throughout that period of time. And I understood her thought pattern. And I also understood where she went. Because I look at her today, and I remember her from where she was.
Yeah.
And she was literally at that spark moment of, I'm setting myself free.
Yes.
And then she really went into a purpose. And I got to tell you, and Cher probably doesn't actually realize this, she is actually an influencer.
Wow.
I don't think you realize you do things because of your heart.
Yes.
You do things because you want to share and you want to give of yourself. But as you're doing that, now you're an entrepreneur, you're a businesswoman, you're very successful, you do an amazing job. But through doing that and bringing people into your life, but also trying to give abundantly of yourself, I don't think you realize how much of an influencer you are actually on social media. Because the moment you pop up, people jump on.
Wow.
And when that happens, it means people are looking for you. And when you're an influencer of people, people are waiting for what it is you are going to give them because they need that in their life. And, you know, I just applaud you from where you came from to what you're doing now. And just the fact that you are here, that you are in this studio again, that we're reunited. But on top of that, that you're going to be that you're at the next level event on Sunday, May the 6th, just is really the beginning of where it is you're going. Because you were supposed to be on this stage. And the fact that Grant saw that and understood that and called you first and like, this is the first person I want to have on here, just shows where you were, where you are, and where you're going. So, you know, I'm just so proud of you. I'm so blessed to be connected with you, to be friends with you.
We got the emotional side of the show coming out.
She said to me, if I said that, I get free food for life.
Oh, where do I even begin? My heart is just overfull with so much joy, and I'm so thankful. And I always start with moments of gratitude. And I'm so thankful for Grant for spotting me at a time when I needed to be motivated to say, you know, Cher, keep going. And Grant was the person who reached out to me. So, Grant, I often say that to you. Thank you so much. And then I met the amazing Brandon. It's like, I see Brandon in my Facebook Live, and I'm like wanting to jump through the screen and give Brandon a huge hug. There's nothing that beats community. And I just follow my heart. I don't see what I'm doing. Others see that, and that's great. I don't need to see what I'm doing. I just need to keep doing and keep going and just follow my heart and keep doing whatever comes. And I'm thankful that I live from my heart. It's a beautiful spot, and that's the message I want to deliver. Connect with your heart. It never steers you wrong.
So tell me, why is community so important to you? Why is it you want to give back to community so much?
I feel there are many reasons, but I feel that so many people pour into me. It just inspired. I can't see anything other than giving. I don't know anything other than giving. It's just me. I think they should have just called me the giver.
Okay, so we gotta rebaptize.
We gotta rebrand.
Legally change your name. Yeah.
Sometimes I don't really have the explanation. It comes naturally, and I'm thankful for that. But I find that a lot of people poured into me. And it would be so selfish and like unreasonable not to do that. The more people give to me, the more I want to give. The more people love me, the more I want to love. It's just like you give to me, and it's just like a reservoir, just keep building, and it's just overflowing, and you're loving me more, and it's just like topping up, and it's just, what am I going to do with all of that love?
But as you give to people, what is your hope for them to receive that? When they receive it, what is your hope for them?
I just want to inspire others to know that it is our responsibility to give. I feel that we're here to give, and giving doesn't necessarily mean you even have to leave your house. Giving doesn't necessarily mean that you have to give money. It could be as just as Grant would say, Cher, you okay? He'll message me, Cher, you all right? And if I take a little bit too long to respond, he's like, Cher, are you okay? I'm getting concerned here. That is love, and that is giving. And sometimes that's like the best gift I could ever. So, Cher, you okay? I go to events, a customer may pull me aside who's really close to me. How's business going? That's priceless. I just want to inspire people to say, you know what? The art of giving is not like come with a huge big basket of food and money. People sometimes just want a little bit of care and attention and just love.
Just being present for others.
Just being present for others, and just being that sometimes that pair of listening ears. Sometimes some people want to just have someone they can have a conversation with outside of their regular family, because sometimes family is not the solution. So you need an ear outside of your regular environment. And that's all we need sometimes.
So, Cher, for some of those people who are watching or are going to catch a replay of this, you have this thing, Love More.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Before you say that, I think you need to rename Cher's 5-Star Catering to Love More Catering.
Okay, I'm listening. I am listening. So love more to make a very long story short, and you guys will be so like really, really happy to where I'm at. I should have known in 2015 that Love More is my purpose, but I'd have to get it my own self. So Love More is my mother's last name, and when she passed in 2015 was the single most important dramatic event for me, because it was the only event that shook me to the core where I discovered life. It's almost like cataract was on the eyes. I can't see anything. I can't see the birds. I can't see fall. I'm wearing all dark colors. And all of a sudden, bam, life, fall, orange, colors. It's just like firework, party, rebirth. I'm like, I became alive. And people are like, you have so much energy. It's like I always say, you know what? 2 people died for me, Jesus and my mom. I feel special. Is that allowed? I feel so special. I'm like, not just 1, 2 people died to save me. I feel like I'm walking with a Love More torch going to the Olympics, and people are just and we're just like, love more, love more, love.
I can totally picture that.
That's how I feel like every single day. I get up in the morning, torch, get on the road. Fans are coming with me, love more. And sometimes when I'm like, oh, I'm tired, they're like, Grant is like, come on, Cher, let's go. And Brandon is like, let's go, Cher, go, Cher, go. I feel like I'm cheered on every single day. And you mentioned that I'm an influencer. People are sending me energy, and they're fueling me, and they're like, you know what, you need some gas? Bam, gas, go.
But this is what community is really about,
it's
right?
All about, it's a circle of energy. And when people are thinking that, oh, I'm feeding into them, and I'm like, you have no idea you're feeding into me.
Yeah.
I'm like, you have no people. I smile all the time. They're sending me a message. I love your videos. And I'm smiling like, you have no idea you're blessing me. And what I do, I reach out. You see all these people who are sending me love? It was about a month ago, I woke up one morning, it's like a voice said, what matters to you here on social media? And I'm like, relationship. And the voice says, what are you going to do about it? So people were on my Facebook Insta stories. I go on and I scroll through and I see a name and it speaks to my heart. I'm like, go over and say hello. So I go over and I said, hi, how are you? I noticed we've been friends for 6 years and we've never said hi. I said, it's important that I say hello. I'll do a video. And people are like, wow. And I'm like, pass it on. Someone has to stand up and create that change. And I'm just listening to my heart. And people are like, wow, wow, wow. I'm like, pass it on.
And it's interesting that I almost knocked that over. It would have been interesting. it's interesting that you say that, because we had a conversation about this on the video that I did on the weekend within the group, and it was about the personal touch, the importance of this. A lot of people don't realize it because we get caught up because everything is fired at us and sold to us, right? It's the click funnels, it's this, it's that. Everything is save time, right? And automate. And the thing is that you got to look back and say, what do I appreciate the most? Well, whenever I watch Cher, I mean, it's not even the personal messages that she sends in her like mailbox to people. It's every time I see Cher, she is somewhere like a coffee shop or something like that, and just a random person that's there, or the coffee shop owner or something. She's like on Facebook doing a live and just promoting them instead of her. It's selfless, and it's just, to me, it's the most admirable thing. Man, I gotta drink some more water.
But you know what is so powerful? There's power when you speak about someone else. Someone did that for me a week ago. I was catering for an event, and he came in, who was doing a presentation on online presence, and the first thing he said, I'm so thankful for Cher for doing this catering. He didn't even eat because he was fasting. And he stopped and recognized that, you know what, I'm going to say that. I don't get that a lot at events because people are so busy. I was completely blown away, and I'm like, wow. And when I left, I'm like, Cher, let that be a reminder that the power of when you speak of someone else will come and speak about me. 100%. And I don't do it for that, because when you do it naturally, the blessings that come back to you.
It's a gift.
And remember too, I have my daughter, 11-year-old. All that I'm doing and all the blessing that people are seeing me extend to them, my daughter's going to be just like I'm walking in that sea of blessing, because my mom did her part to transfer her blessings to me. A lot of times we have to also think about our children. What path do we want them to walk in? What examples are we setting, and what are we doing in our daily lives? It's going to impact them, but sometimes we don't even think that far. Wow. I want my daughter to be highly blessed when she travels on her daily. Not that she's not going to have difficulties, but I've had many difficulties, and at the end of the day, I'm still smiling because I see through that people still want to help me. Absolutely. And that gives me hope.
Yeah, that's amazing. I just love your heart, you know.
I love you guys.
Just the way you do things, and just, again, you know, Grant said it perfectly, you know, just how selfless you are, that you have a business, and most people who are running a business are like, how can I get people to talk about my business? Yeah. How can I talk about my business? How can I promote my business? Yeah. But I hardly ever see you talking about your business. I see you sharing love and talking about everybody else.
That's why you share.
That's why you share.
Yeah, but you know
share
what?
Love more.
I've just been the recipient of so many offerings and blessings. Grant blessed me all the time, and I can speak about it. He's blessed me so many times where, like, he gives me hope, and I'm like, I can do it. And it comes at the time when I'm like, I get up and I'm like, I'm not feeling so hot today. Where's my orange scarf? I need some help. And I get the notifications. Grant like, Cher, how you doing? You okay? You all right? And I'm like, bam, there's the energy I need. And he doesn't even know what's happening. People don't even understand. Those little small details work so much for me. And people are like, you're inspiring me. And then someone else is inspiring me by coming over. And I'm like, oh, I love your light. I love your videos. That's just fuel for me. I just live my life based on what fuels me and connect to my heart. And that's what I do every single day. Every single day I start my day off in gratitude. I grab my color because it gives me the energy. So I'm focusing on what fuels me, and I focus on that. And I just follow my heart. And I love, it's just like my heart is always thinking, if I see someone, I see their pain. And my brain is like literally thinking, how am I going to solve that pain? I don't go home stressed or overwhelmed. My heart is just saying, I go home and it's just like that person said, my heart, and it's just like that person need X, Y, and Z, and it's just lodging there. When I see an opportunity to give them the X, Y, and Z, or to connect them with someone who can help them out, I'm just like, one time he said to me, you're connected. And I'm like, didn't even think about it like that. And then when I'm looking, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm like, I'm introducing people, and I'm like, and I'm sitting back and I'm like, this is beyond me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing stuff that I'm like, when I sit back and I'm like, I just go like this. I'm in awe as well. I'm sitting back like looking and I'm looking what people are saying and I'm like, I am doing that?
But it just happens so organically, just because of who you are. It's just what you do, and through doing that, you don't realize that you're doing something organically that people are being taught how to do.
Wow.
And it's just within you. Because you're caring about other people, you're delivering value, and you deliver value, it comes back to you. There's a blessing that always comes back to you in a way. So, you know, when you have that gratitude, you want to give more.
Yeah.
And when you give more, you love more. When you love more, you get more.
Absolutely. That's
no
a
pun
perfect.
intended.
No pun.
So we are extremely excited to have you on, and you're going to be talking on a panel that's discussing customer service, relationships in business, and business transparency. And I couldn't think of a better person besides the other people that are on the panel. But no, definitely. Like, I mean, I'm excited to see you flourish.
I'm so honored, and I thank you so much for all the opportunity. Like, we all have to be mindful that when someone do something for us, even a cup of water, I always not only say thank you, because we just sometimes say, you know what, you get up, you say good morning, and there's no good in the morning. When I say thank you, my heart is like, oh my goodness, a cup of water. You didn't have to do it. Like, real, genuine thank you is the key, not just thank you or morning. It's like a real, genuine thank you. Like, when I go home, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, Grant had me on the show. That's an amazing opportunity. People line up for this, and he picked me. That's my mindset.
It's like you put the full intention into that thank you. It's
There's
not just an empty thank you. It's full
there's just like there's a lot of thought and prayers and hallelujah and all of that stuff in that. Thank you.
So guys, make sure you follow, share. How can they follow you first off?
Great start to Shireen Alice, because that's a lot of activities, and that direct them to my other pages. So I think that's a very great start, because there's a lot of pages. So Shireen Allison for my catering, Sher's 5-Star Catering, and
which is soon to be Love More Catering.
and for my Love More pages, Love More by Sher's. But the greatest place to start is is my personal page, because I direct everything through that.
Sure.
Catering by Love More.
Amazing.
All right, I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm learning to listen.
We're going to take a quick break, and who knows who's going to be here next.
All right.
T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Great, and how's your experience been so far?
I'm loving it. This is my first year here, and I was so excited.
I've had so many people come, so much traffic. I'm absolutely tired. Because of all the exposure that I got from this great event, I was able to grow and evolve and create my very own label.
It's been a fantastic event.
This is my second year.
This is a great and awesome event connecting to the community.
So yeah, we urge you to join here. It's a great turnout.
So for those of you who are not here this year and have business, make sure that you're here next year, because it's only going to get better every year.
So I will be back next year. So thank you. This is so awesome.
So people who aren't here, what would you tell them?
You're missing out. Come out and have some fun.
I should be in the middle.
You should.
Because you're so colorful?
Yeah.
Or is it because there's two guys?
Because there's two men. So I should be...
Professionalism. I can't even say professionalism's out the door because the whole show has been crazy. We're back with the gloves are off. I'm Grant Browning. If you're just tuning in, we are sitting down with some of the cast, some of the speakers for the upcoming TC business show. Before we do anything, I want to send a shout out to Kevin Hune.
Kevin,
who has been commenting. We haven't been paying attention.
Hi, Kevin.
Sorry, Kevin.
Sorry, man. He's saying that you got a rogue with it. You're watching a rogue edition of The Gloves Are Off on a non-normal scheduled time. And if you guys were hanging out in the office here, you would understand why you're seeing what you're seeing on camera because it's worse outside the studio right now. It's the energy is just crazy. I have with me Brandon V, who is my ex-co-host who had to move on to bigger and better things, and we miss him dearly. And he is also the host. I'm trying not to get emotional. He's also the host for the TC Business Social for the whole day. He's hosting it. We on my right.
The whole day? Okay.
How you gonna interrupt me, man? Now I can't remember who I was.
Threw that down. You know, it was a whole day.
So on my right, I got Orangey beside me.
Orangey.
Such a hater. I'll introduce myself. I don't even need you.
See, watch.
Let me read it.
Don't knock over my.
So Simone Jennifer Smith has her BA honors in psychology, her master's in humanistic and clinical
you just
psychology,
love telling everybody your qualifications.
And
right?
I'm the mental health program director at the Canadian Human Rights International Organization,
right
as well
here.
as the co-host of Here to Help You and the primary host on In the Now on my TCN TV network. Hi, everybody.
And she's a contributor for the Toronto Caribbean newspaper and reporter. And she is the clinical, psychological,
we did all this.
mental health program director. I don't have my glasses.
We already did all this.
Canadian Human Rights International Organization. What do you do there?
I run the mental health program.
Oh, why?
Because there's a lot of crazy.
What qualifications?
I was waiting for that.
What qualifications do you have?
Guy, you didn't just read that? Did I have my master's? What? It's that. What qualifications do I have?
So for you guys that are puzzled right now, Simone and I have this brother-sister relationship. It's the love-hate relationship. Every day this is normal. So let's just transfer to the show because this is our first show that we've done together.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
What did we do together?
We did a rant.
Exactly.
Like a few weeks ago.
A quick rant. That was when YouTube
locked us off.
And Facebook locked us off because we were talking anti-right wing stuff. So.
Okay, but this. They got mad, Brandon, and locked us off.
Yeah, and it's about to get worse. So
at the social.
At the social.
If you want to see why we got locked up,
make sure you get down to the social.
The show went from up here. Now we're in a different direction. It's all good.
I'm here. So what have we been talking about? I've been doing other things. What's going on? What do the people have to expect?
We just wanted you to grace us with your presence. Okay, we'll take a break now. So Simone is actually, she is the founder and CEO.
Yes.
Of Here to Help You, which is a community grassroots company which deals with the inner community.
Okay, go on. I'll let you do it.
I'll let you. You know, I'm being polite and I'm trying not to say.
He's like, she does stuff in the community.
I'm not quite sure.
Okay,
what it is.
What it is.
Tell us what Here to Help is. Tell us what Here to Help is.
Poor Grant. So Here to Help is a community development.
All prim and proper,
I know.
Right?
I'm so like my mom's watching.
Here to Help is purely for Grant Browning.
Here to Help You is actually.
Here to Help You is a community development program that was established in 2012. We are now 6 years, almost 6 years strong.
6 years.
Yeah, I passed the 5-year mark and I'm still here.
Wow.
For those who thought I was gonna fail. Joke's on you, I'm still here.
We should have saved it for the last. We did. It's recorded.
But we did it.
Still here. People still want to hear me, I guess. I guess that's why I'm on here with these people. So yeah, Grant, why did you invite me on this panel? I'm gonna ask
just
you.
So that way you can give that attitude on stage.
Still here.
I'm still here on stage, guys.
I'm not going anywhere. Okay.
Okay. So honestly, I've watched Simone for a number of years. She's been with us for 4 years now. And watch the stuff that she does in the community, and it's actually very inspiring because she knows what it's like to do whatever it takes. And to be quite honest with you, not gloating or anything like that, but she's like a female version of me.
But better. Right? And I have more melanin.
She's better looking anyways. Better looking, like I'll give her that. Sorry, Dave, but it's the truth. I don't think you find me.
You're just like,
I don't think you find me attractive, so it's all good, right?
Wow.
I want to stop. I want to, guys, you're going to hear some new names that are happening here. I want to send a shout out to Dave, as well as Anisha that's behind the camera. Our new engineers. So, guys, we got some incredible things that are happening here. So, first off, I wanted to let's finish why, because we got to make sure that
here for a reason.
People know why you're important. So
Medea, yes.
Wow. I'll just sit over here.
As he fades out.
No, you know what? Honestly, Grant, like when you asked me to do this, that was my question. I'm like, why? What do I have to share?
Simone.
I don't know what to say.
I don't know why you're on this.
Okay. So Simone.
Yes.
Let's just
Brandon.
bypass.
Okay, yeah. Let's get past Grant here.
So tell us. Okay. So
OCD.
Yes. You want me to
see how it rolls?
This is pure
The gloves are off.
Did you shave your legs like I asked?
Oh wow. What happened? I came in here and just foolishness, eh?
You came at the right time.
You threw it all off.
See, we
were doing good. We had direction going.
So
and,
Simone,
Go ahead,
tell us a little bit about what you're hoping to deliver at this event.
Some real, you know what? The thing about success is people really believe that it's like there's some miracle that comes with it. It isn't. It's work.
Mm-hmm.
And I work a lot. All the time. Honestly, I'm working, and I'm not just doing one thing. I'm doing many things, all with this one goal in mind, right? I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they're talking about how you're not supposed to diversify. No, it's not. It's not him. I'll get there in a second. I knew who you were thinking I was listening to. No. But they're talking about not trying to diversify your portfolio to become successful or financially successful, but to focus on one thing and then after to diversify. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was incredible because I think I've been doing it kind of the wrong way this whole time. But this is the thing about coming to an event like this is even if you might be going in a direction and you might be doing pretty well, but you might hear that one thing that completely shifts your perspective and helps take you to that next level. You see how I did that?
I like it.
I like how she tied it. She's a pro or something like that.
Loop that right around and brought it back. But no, I'm so excited to be a part of this because for me, and I said this to Grant, I'm going to be doing a lot more learning than speaking that day. I'm going to be around some great speakers who are going to teach me what they have done because they may have another look at things that I haven't seen, And for those who think you know everything, again, I give you that. You need to learn to humble yourself. I know some people might be watching like, oh, what can I go over there and learn from Simone Denny? What can I learn from Grant? What can I learn from Simone? A lot, because there's things that all of us have been through individually that you haven't been through, that we can honestly share that side of it to say, look, maybe you're not doing this, or maybe you didn't see things like this. So
Simone has a really interesting story that I have been on her forever to start coming out and sharing. Because if you heard that, you would understand why I'm so inspired by this woman, because the fact that she is pretty amazing. The fact that she came from where she came from.
You're scared to say it.
What?
You don't want to say it, do you?
No, I want to say it, but I don't want you to get mad at me. So.
See, now I want to hear it.
So I'll give a little quick synopsis. So for many who don't know, in 2012, I was arrested in Panama and locked up in prison there for about a month. And without going through the whole story, I came back and pretty much everything that I owned was taken away from me. I lost everything. At the age of 32, I owned my own home. I just started my business, which was doing very well. I had for just starting your own business, I started off really well. I started off with a huge client list, in my first year. So I was making really good money. And then I went on vacation and came back and lost everything. And I don't know who's ever lost anything. I don't know. It's not a fun thing.
I've lost everything.
Then it's not cool.
No.
It's very disheartening, and it's like you feel ashamed.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been ashamed for a long time because I'm just like, how could I be so stupid to do some of the things that I did to end me up in prison? Like who knew me at 32 would end up there, and have to go through the embarrassment of coming back to moving into my parents' house again, completely just I lost everything. All I had was my car. The only thing I owned, and I didn't even own that. I was still paying payments on it. Didn't even own my car. That's all I had.
No, jalopy.
It's a jalopy. It's,
Sometimes jalopies are the best.
It's just a Mercedes. Just joking. No, it's a Nissan. But no, it was
Nissan jalopy.
You're hating, okay? Toronto Caribbean truck. We'll talk to you about that in a second. You want to start calling things out?
Yeah. Brandon.
That's what I thought.
How you doing, Brandon?
See, that's why you got me in here. I'm the buffer.
Yeah.
But no, it's one thing I will say is you've gotta want. You have to really want success. It's not. You can't just say, oh, I want to be successful and I'm going to do a couple things on YouTube. And because even YouTube stars, they come and they go. They rise. And if they don't keep that work up, they fade really quickly. So it's about progression. I've progressively grown in the community. I've progressively grown in my business. And it just takes a lot of dedication and work. And that's what I have. That's what I can offer.
The thing that I love about that story is the rise, is the first initial rise, getting to where you got to, having that level of success, having the things that you want, and being like, I'm there and I'm still rising, and then losing everything. And things like that can really crush people once and for all. It's like one hit, knockout, done.
Oh, it was close to.
And you're in that place and you're in such despair that you're like, now what? It's over. How can I do this again? But when you can be in that place, go through that human that human experience, deal with it, come out of it, and then start the journey again to get to where you have got to now and still continue to rise. That's experience. That's a story that resonates with so many people, or sometimes people are heading towards that. And sometimes, again, when you get somebody in to repair something in your house, like a dishwasher, you're not paying for what they learned. You're paying for the experience of knowing where to kick it.
That's right.
And when you go through that, you see the things that sit between the lines that you're not taught.
That's
and
right.
when you go through that experience and you learn how to do that, and now you can say, hey, this is something they don't teach you. This is something you're not going to find in a book.
That's right.
But I'm going to tell you because I experienced it. And those changes, those little nuances through people's experiences are the things that people need to hear to be able to catapult them and give them hope.
Everyone relates to pain. It's the one thing we all can relate to.
100%.
We've all experienced pain. We all know what that feels like. But some of us don't know how to deal with that pain and know that they can get beyond that.
I just have crazy deja vu. Listening to you talk, I was just like...
What happened? What am I doing?
This is not you, him. It's like the old gloves are off going on here.
That's how we used to do it.
This is...
Maybe the gloves are off should come back. Just a thought. Take it to that
next level.
Oh! Brought it back again. Brought that back again. Y'all see how I did that?
So
I be tying things in.
So let's back it up. So the question was, why did I want you?
Yes.
Well, why
do you want a convict?
Let me rephrase this then. Why is all these people on the bill?
Yes.
Right. I put a post out probably 3 weeks ago, and I said, we could have invested the same amount of money and brought up an artist, or done something that would have benefited our pockets and not benefit the community. Because the community would have had a great time, come out, get drunk, and that's it. Right? Really, Simone? But what impact are you leaving? And it's not what we are about as a company and our core culture that's here. Our core culture is about building, right? And empowering. And everybody that is on the panel, I have watched and listened to their stories. Brandon recently, I know you may or may not want to talk. I know you talked about it on Real Talk a bit, but I mean, he was recently shot down too, right? And it was an unexpected thing. Sometimes it's not finances. Sometimes it's something else.
Yeah.
And I watched Brandon literally come out of nowhere and just own it. And that was like so inspirational to me. And sometimes it's not always like they say, surround yourself with the right people. It's not just about the money. It's about the right people. Yeah. Right? The people that know how to hustle, the people that have stories and come out of it, right? I mean, we've all got them. And it's kind of like we all got our war wounds, right?
Yeah.
And we don't sit in pity on it and talk about it all the time. But, I mean, the thing is that look at some of the people. I mean, there's another person that's on the bill who is actually going through some struggles right now. And, I mean, I'm watching that person go through it, and well, I mean, through text messages and stuff like that, and I'm feeling for the person because I watched, amazing person, human being, get struck down by something that has nothing to do with finances.
Yeah,
has all the things in the world that you could think of, right? So I mean,
puts things in perspective.
It does. It puts things in perspective. So why did I pick these people? Because I feel they have something that they can share and benefit the community.
All right, and I can make you laugh.
She can.
But we don't need to have you on stage for that.
I quit.
You want me to put you on so you can perform?
Out.
I quit. Signing out. I'm going to drop the mic.
Don't worry about the time.
Okay.
I see you looking at it.
No, I was just making
that
sure.
That was just a guide. It's a guide.
Okay, because I'm trying to be respectful of other people's time. But I don't have much left to say to you anyway, so we can go.
Wow.
I'll see
so
you
make
guys
sure you're there May the 6th.
If you want to hear anything else, I'm not going to give them everything.
Are you going to give attitude like that on stage too?
Absolutely
not. Okay, good. All right.
I think it's me a good time.
Why should people come?
Besides the reasons that I think I stated earlier, it's just, again, we talk about wanting to be part of something, but then we don't make ourselves part of something. Come and be part of something. Be part of the experience. That's
Dave,
the word.
Cue in the hero music. Yeah. Feel like the Transformer music
You've
kicking
been working
in,
on that, haven't you? Like, I got this. I do this in the mirror every morning.
I was surrounded by two nut jobs.
People want to be part of something, and this is a great thing to be part of. Like this panel has there's spiritual guidance on there. There's some financial. There's real estate. There's me, idiot. Like even that. Like there's that perspective. Like there's that. Be part of something. I would love to honestly just have some conversations with people. I love talking to people. I love listening.
Let
to
me
people.
ask you this: what type of environment is it around here?
This.
Give no. Besides the stupidness, give people an idea of what
family. That's what it feels like. I come in here. I don't feel a ways to be exactly who I am. That's it. I don't feel a ways to be who I am. And if I did, I wouldn't be here. And that's the best thing. That's another great thing is you can just come as you are. If you have flip flops, some jogging pants, you have rollers in your hair, reach.
I don't recommend
Market
doing your
Zone
show
is
like
free.
That,
no, I'm not doing. I didn't say me. I said if you want to come.
That.
Market Zone is free, so you can come and just check out the vendors. That's like a bonus, right? You can walk in, see what's up, shop. I'm gonna be doing some shopping too. When you don't see me, deals. You know what I'm saying? And it's about finding exclusive things. I love going to these type of vendors. Why are you laughing? No, honestly, because you can find those exclusive things that you don't find
I'm not laughing.
anywhere else. Where's my drink? But
it's water.
I know. Where's my water? But honestly, Market Zone is free, so you can come and attend that. If you want it a little bit more, you come and see our host with the most, Brandon. Honestly, him all day. It's hilarious. As soon as I found it was Brandon, I was like, what? Yeah. So that's gonna be jokes all day because you're gonna get that energy. You're gonna get some good energy. You're gonna hear some good dialogue. There's gonna be music, of course. I always want and it's food. What are we eating? What's on the menu?
For VIPs?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's a 5-course meal. It's always a 5-course meal.
Last year was pretty good. Chicken wasn't dry.
You know, chicken isn't dry. It's good.
If that didn't encourage people to buy tickets, I don't know what would.
The chicken was alright. You know how we love our chicken, so I was okay with it. Food is pretty good.
KFC?
It wasn't KFC. It was like that.
Popeyes.
Yes, that's what it was. But no, like I think it's just gonna be a lot of fun. Like just an enjoyable time. And a lot of people in the community are people who are considered up there are going to be coming out. We're not going to drop any names, but you know, some of the community movies and shakers, they're going to be there. Wow. So they're going to be there. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be good. I've sold enough. Can I go now?
I'll give you $100 after.
When do I get paid for this? Is the camera still running?
You're such an ass. All right, we are going to pause for a long overdue break, and we will be right back. Hopefully this side gets better. This side's good, but... Dave?
May 6th. You want to see more of this?
We'll see you guys. Great, and how's your experience been so far?
I'm loving it. This is my first year here, and I was so excited.
I've had so many people come, so much traffic. I'm absolutely tired.
Because of all the exposure that I got from this great event, I was able to grow and evolve and create my very own label.
It's been a fantastic event.
This is my second year.
This is a great and awesome event connecting to the community.
So yeah, we urge you to join here. It's a great turnout.
So for those of you who are not here this year and have business, make sure that you're here next year because it's only going to get better every year.
So I will be back next year. So thank you. This is so awesome.
So people who aren't here, what would you tell them?
You're missing out. Come out and have some fun.
Did you get it, Dave?
Did you get it, Dave?
Are we live?
Are we live? Can they hear us?
Can you hear us now?
Can you hear us?
Oh!
Hello?
No, just kidding. And we're back with the gloves are off, and we have the bank CEO in here, and this is the officer who's going to lend us the money.
Uh-oh.
So... I'm Grant Browning. Thank you for tuning in. Gerald, man, you're squishing me, man. What's going on here? You're trying to snuggle me, aren't you? I feel so underdressed now. I got Brandon with the blazer, then you got me with just the shirt on.
But don't let the dress fool you because the most jocular guy is in the suit and tie.
You know, it's true. You have a history.
Yeah, you got a point.
So, hold on. So if you're just tuning in, this is a special Rogue edition of the Gloves Are Off.
Rogue being the optimal
To my
one.
left, you're right. Over here, we have Brandon V, the host with the most. He's going to be the host for the TC Business Social. To my right, your left. He's over here. We killed the mic. I have Mr. Gerald Johnson, who is, and so I don't screw this up, I'm going to read it because I always call you everything but, what's the matter? His mic?
Oh, my mic.
How unprofessional,
How's that?
man.
Better?
Chief Representative Officer for Jamaican National Canada Representative Office. He is also an entrepreneur and a master. I literally have the two people I respect the most when it comes to building relationships in business.
Wow. That's an honor.
Wow.
It's the first time I've hugged someone on camera.
And-
let alone two
There's
guys.
evidence.
Two dudes. Two dudes.
But you know what? And the funny thing was that when you actually first started off Real Talk, I think it was Real Talk, and you did that with Alyssa, and you and I were the first guests on,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yes.
That's the first time I met you, and I remember that. I was like, wow. And here we are.
Should we sing it again? Reunited and it
feels so good.
Sing it, Gerald.
That's
Sing it, Gerald.
about all you're gonna get from me.
That was it.
Unless you come to the shower.
Unless you come
Ah.
or outside the shower.
So Gerald has an incredible history because he mentioned the part about being a jock, and he's actually from the Argonauts, Toronto Argonauts.
Many years ago.
Well, that's many moons ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Many, yeah.
And so yeah, you just messed me up, man. I'm done.
Many.
Well, I just remember what Simone said.
You're not gonna
my
wear
drink?
curlers too?
No, where's my drink?
Oh,
it's over there.
Oh, okay. I just giving you time.
Garcon,
to get
right?
Jeeves.
Anyways, so Gerald is a close and personal friend of mine. I have probably some of the utmost top respect for Gerald, besides Brandon. So don't want to make you feel left out or anything like that. You know? So. Doesn't this remind you of old times, though?
Absolutely.
It's actually freaking me out, right? Like I've said it like 5 times during the show, right? So we're sitting here and we're planning how we're going to start the show tonight, and then we're like, you know what? I need to start with Alyssa because we used to be Real Talk, and Brandon because it was originally the gloves are off between the two of us, right?
Yeah.
And it just started like the gloves are off
Exactly the same
2 years ago. So
just picked up where I left off.
Yeah.
awesome. It was really 2 years ago?
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
How time is flying.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
So Gerald.
I'm really proud of you guys.
Which part?
Well, I mean, if we look at the paper, I mean, I remember when you guys, well, it was just a couple months after you started that we started advertising with you. And the development, I mean, every 2 weeks, whenever I pick up the paper and I start thumbing through it, I get a big smile on my face, right? And because I look at the advertisers that you have, and I look at how everything's put together, and it just keeps getting better and better. And then I look at, you know, what you guys did with the radio, Carib 101. I mean, that was awesome. It really was.
Yeah, it really was.
And then you came with TCN, and it's just like better.
Wait do you see what we do in a month?
Saying, and then now you're telling me that's 2 years ago, and it's like,
yeah,
wow,
yeah.
But you see, it's knowledge like that. You know, it's what you're doing. It's the movement. It's the growth. It's the experience. It's the vision. It's the everything that you get from that. That's being poured into these events to say, here's what I've learned. I want to move you away from the landmines and get you to walk in the path that's going to get you from point A to B the quickest way possible without you going through the same pain that you had to go through, right?
Reunited.
but it's totally true. And so, I mean, that's why I would say to people, you know, this is one of the reasons why you need to come to the social. Because this is what you're going to get. We're not just talking about people who, you know, are teachers. You're talking about experienced people who have actually done what they're talking about. And so there's a level of credibility that comes to the event.
We just lost our professionalism.
But the gloves are off. I can say it, right?
You can say it. The gloves are off.
And so that's what excites me, because even when we look back when it was the expo, right? So how things have progressed, and what you're trying to say to the community is, look, we have to progress. You've got to go out and you've got to become more than you are. So I just love it.
I think they're trying to fix it. I think.
What'd they do?
It was your presence. You just knocked out the background.
It's your energy.
The first
it glitched everything.
Just glitched everything. Great.
We just lost it. Threw us off. Show's done. No. The first expo that we did, if you remember, the setup of it.
Yeah.
The cursing. The frustrations. Did we like?
No, we're still going.
We're still alive?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. Because that wouldn't surprise me if everything else cut off. The frustrations but it was a learning experience.
Yeah.
Right. And we started. The stage was in the center, and the vendors were all around it, and
Yes.
the vendors were complaining because it was too loud, and the speakers were complaining because kids were running in front of them and with balloons. And but it was a learning experience, right? It was something new that we wanted to introduce. It was a different concept in the community, and it's evolved.
Yeah.
It's really evolved, and I'm excited for this year because I would honestly have to say that out of all the years that we've done it, this is probably the most well thought out part for the conference.
Wow. Okay.
Right.
That's exciting.
That's
Structure.
exciting.
That's exciting. That's very exciting. Yeah.
They're still trying to figure.
And then the other, you know what? The other thing is that I think is exciting is usually when I look at your development and how it follows with the business, it's like immediately after the social, you don't stop, right? And something new's coming.
Something new is coming.
See, I told you. And I don't even know yet, but I just know, just based on how it works, and because this gives you a fuel to push.
Yeah, I don't stop.
Next level. Next level. And
so enough about me. Let's talk about you.
Yeah, but forget about me. It's about relationships. Right?
This is why he's the king.
And you know why? But here's the thing. I'm going to flip the script on you. You're right. It's about relationships. Let's talk about you. Here's a reason, mate. That you're going to be at this. Control. You're going to be at this event. But there's a reason why you're going to be at this event. Okay? And you just having your presence there, there's a reason for it. And when people come, they're going to learn something from you. They're going to understand something from you. And because of that, that's why it's so important to understand, to let people know who it is you are. Why is it that Grant turned around to you and said, Gerald, I need you at this event. I want you to be at this event. I want you on stage because there's something of value that you have. What is it that you feel is one of the most important things that can be put into business, entrepreneurship, just general life as a whole?
Well, one of the things that I would say is, how some people just say it's just business, and they compartmentalize life. So I'm a different person in business than I am at home, than I am, it's just different. Well, my philosophy is different. I am who I am. So if you come to my home, you're going to get the same guy you've had joking around, the same guy, you get me in a boardroom. I mean, I am the same me. And I think that becomes very important in relationships because that consistency, that authenticity is really what drives it. And so I would say that is one of the things that I would bring. Because there's a stability because then how things come at you, it helps how you process it. It helps how you absorb, how you listen. That's another really important thing that I like to talk to people about, to listen. I mean, God gave you what?
2 ears.
2 ears and one mouth. Right? And
some people have more.
And that's the scary part. But it's to be able to understand how that is. And we've got some stories coming out soon that really demonstrate it. It's about building the relationship. It's about adding value to other people. One of my mentors and my boss, the man that Earl Jarrett is, I mean, it really has helped me in how I deal with people and how I see it. Even from a business perspective, you know, it's about making money and you want your company to be profitable, but that and giving back are not mutually exclusive. There are ways that you have to work to put things together. And so it's just kind of like, again, what your paper is about, what the station is about, what your entire company is about. Because it's about building relationships in the community. So you're adding more value to the community, and in doing so, that is actually going to help your company. So some people could say, oh, well, that's selfish. And I would say, yeah, but that's good, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can consider it selfish, but I mean, we all have to do something in life anyways. Why not make an impact?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And so those are some of the things. Like, I mean, when you're building a relationship, you should be doing it because you don't know when or how this person is going to bring me back value. You don't know. But there's a principle of sowing and reaping. So what you put out is what you're going to get back. And so I take the philosophy that when I meet you, I want to bring value to you. So I don't want to get it first. I don't have to get it first. But if I try and give you more value, if I help your company advance, one day, I mean, it may not be you that brings that value back to me. It could be someone else. But the more good you can do, the more abundance. I mean, it's an abundance mentality versus a scarcity. And so, like, even ideas, giving more ideas. It's like, if I keep giving away ideas, I'm not scared to do that, because if I was scared to do it, that means I only have a little bit of amount.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, even when you do give away the ideas, the number of people that are actually going to take it and apply it anyways.
Well, that's another story, but that's very true. And so, you know, it's about adding value, really, and that's how I see it. And I think just talking through some of that with people and some of the questions that will come from the panel, I think it's going to give people tremendous value. So I would really encourage people, don't miss the panel, especially the relationship one. All right?
You know, it's totally true. You know, it's relationships are the DNA of anything.
Yeah.
Okay, because before business came around, what is it about? It's about relationships. It's building those relations that brought people together, that bring ideas together, that share things. And when you actually go ahead and you do that and you seek to serve first, it should be competition. Seek to serve first.
Yes,
and if you can seek to serve first, it's not with want of return.
Yeah.
It's I will give something out, not wanting return, because whatever way it goes out, it will show up somewhere, some way, somehow, back to you. So even if it doesn't, don't worry about it.
Well,
if
will.
You've helped some,
coming.
and it's coming. But if you just have that mindset just to seek to serve, always, then just the betterment of somebody else is payment enough.
Exactly.
Agreed.
Exactly.
Right?
Agreed.
Yeah. And so, I mean, when we see these things in business and actually see them working, I really encourage people, you got to come and ask the questions, because there are situations that the people on the panel that we've experienced and that we've seen that we can tell you about it. Like, I mean, boy, oh boy. And even sometimes when you'd say, well, it's hard to maintain that relationship, there are things that you can do to get through it, because I mean, not everybody's easy to deal with. But it's even in those situations where you have to stop and you have to know where it is you want to go, know what you're trying to accomplish, and because of that, you have to make some choices. and you continue to fuel the relationship side, because again, you don't know when it's coming back, right? And I like to tell people, don't burn bridges.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's unavoidable.
Yeah, but as I learned when I got cut on the Argonauts, I got cut twice. Wow, what a story, right? Yes, twice.
Wow.
So I got cut, brought back, got cut again. But two very different experiences. Mm-hmm. And I would say probably one of the things that has helped drive me in business about leaving people with dignity. So I don't know if I should say this on air, I have no problem firing someone.
Me either.
No. Like,
but that's real. Yeah.
But if we get to a situation where that needs to happen, the person on the other end isn't going to feel terrible. Mm. They're just not, because I have come to a place where I've said, you know what, I never want to feel the way I felt. Mm. And so, you know, there's always a way to do it, because sometimes, I mean, when you look at in the business world, it's just fits. So sometimes what you're doing isn't the right fit for who you are or where you want to go.
Absolutely.
So it becomes perspective, and so how you do it, and the things you bring to people, and how you help them move on. So again, you got to come. Like, if you
this
think
is just a smidget.
Just a smidge.
Yeah. A smidget.
Yeah. I mean, and I've only got to meet Jay a few times, Jay Bridgepal, a few times. Mm-hmm. And I cannot wait to be sitting. I hope you put us together, just to rub.
Well, you guys can
rub
pick your own seats, right?
but when you get the wisdom of people like that, mm-hmm. and the knowledge and the experience, I mean, you guys, like this is really important.
Mm. You know, that's funny, because I never actually asked you. That's probably putting you on the spot, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to.
Uh-oh.
But being that you are the head of Jamaica National Bank here in Canada, how much money, since you've been here, if you had to guesstimate, business, has been generated since you've been there, that you kind of since you?
I don't know.
That, you know what? I just realized we threw this way out of whack, because I said over $2 billion, but
I don't know. I don't know.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, I never thought of that either. But a lot of business is generated,
to say the least.
Yeah. So would you say we'd be pushing over $3 billion then?
I don't know. Exactly.
Would you say it was in the realm of
Come on, man.
Well,
but my point being is that the caliber of people that we have at this event on stage, the amount of business that has been generated as a whole,
and we look at the synergy of all of it, and everybody. Wow.
Yeah.
But also when you look at the lineup of speakers, if you just look at them and their backgrounds, there is such a variety of speakers with different types of knowledge and experiences. Here's the deal. You may sit there and not get anything from a large group of people, but you may sit there and listen to that one person. There is one person out of this whole entire group of speakers and panelists that is going to resonate with you. This is the beauty of it, is that there is somebody for everybody. So everybody is going to get something from
But it's not
this.
even that. You may not get nothing from it for some reason.
Means you're dead.
I doubt it.
Means you're dead.
You might get a connection with Brandon, Gerald, something like that, that could flourish into something huge for business.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's so many different avenues and angles that you can actually go at.
And here's the other part of the social, and it dovetails on that. I know, and I know just looking at the people on the panels and looking at the speakers, and the interactions that we have, most of these people are connectors, right? And they would all deal on the premise of, let's hear, what is it that you're looking for? Who is it that I know that I can connect you to?
Because they're all such givers.
Exactly.
They're all such givers, and that's the beauty of it. And when you're a giver, it's you know, when somebody comes out and says, hey, listen, you're right, 100% right, nail on the head. You know, it's what is it you're looking for?
Yeah.
Because, like, what do I have in my arsenal or within my connections that I can give to you to help you go to the next level?
Yeah.
Simone, you got me on a roll.
I'm not even gonna go there. I'm just gonna leave it alone. All right. One takeaway: why should people come quickly?
They better come quickly and get your tickets before they're sold out.
Yeah,
that's one. But they've got to come to experience the environment. It's going to be an environment of positivity. The energy that's created, it's like a meeting of the minds. And so when you get there, you're going to be tapping into if you've ever read Think and Grow Rich, you're going to be tapping in to all these brains. And yeah, you don't want to miss that, because there are some things that are going to outflow of this. And especially because this is what Grant and Trish have been speaking about as long as I've known them.
Oh, I forgot about this. It was so trip down memory lane, but it was actually Gerald that encouraged us to do this.
Can I say one more thing? I was right. So when you come into this office, you're going to see a bunch of posters like this, and I think sometimes it's in the paper, but the whole community focused. Right? That whole theme of community focused. And like this one from Bob Marley, I love it. The greatness of man is not how much wealth he acquires, but in his integrity and his ability to affect those around him positively. And for me, that speaks to relationship. And I see you guys do that. And then you have another one here. This is Ray Chang.
Big.
Right? So this man here was, before I even knew him, I saw what he was doing and who he was, and I said, I want to be a philanthropist. And so this is my picture, right? So he says, live a balanced life, and remember, not everything can be measured in dollars and cents. Always give back and never forget community.
Actually, when I heard that, that's what changed my whole perspective on even the direction that we wanted to go in.
Yeah, and so what I know is what you guys have been speaking and sending out into the universe is what is happening. and
the panel.
And so it's going to be awesome. So you got to come. You just don't want to. If you miss it, it's hard. It's going to be difficult to quantify what it is that, like, how you could make up what you've missed. And so I would encourage everybody. You got to come. You got to.
You can totally hear about it. You can catch articles on it. You can see videos on it. Yeah. But, you know, you're right. The thing that I got from last year's one was the energy.
Yeah.
People said the energy in this space is tangible.
Yeah.
Because you have so many success thoughts and energy emanating of joy and happiness and success and showing people and moving forward and getting connections and networking and so on and so forth, that just being in the space, you cannot replicate that outside of the event.
Nope.
You can hear about it, but sometimes it's the feeling that hits you, that opens you up, that delivers the words into you. That's the nugget, not just the words itself. It's the energy that's put into the words itself that hits you so hard, that moves you to action. You have to
You
be
have
at
to
the
be
event to
right.
experience it.
Yeah. I have a mentor who talks about, you know what, you've got to, people need to remember how you made them feel.
100%.
And that's where change, and that's where there's a connection. And just like you said, if you're not at the event, you can't feel it, and you can't remember it. I mean, yeah.
Because every memory we have of the past is not a thought pattern, it's an experienced energetic feeling that we have that's associated with that memory, that brings a memory of sadness, a feeling of sadness, of joy, of happiness, of success, of accomplishment, whatever it is. You know, you can hear the words, but if you don't get the experience, it will never resonate within your mind.
Yeah. And the other reason you got to be there is if you're gonna miss, there's going to be a synergy that happens from the host with the chemistry with everybody else.
Yes.
And so you're feeling it right now, right?
Connection.
But that, I mean, it's going to be something that you're going to want to say, I was there. I remember when. And so.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Excited.
We are going to take a quick break.
Quick break?
We have one more guest.
Oh, you do?
Yes, we do. We have one more. Don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
One night going home, it was the night where I got promoted to becoming the sales leader of the team, and that was like the best day of my life. And I'm driving home at 3 a.m, and I fell asleep behind my wheel. It's cold, it's winter, it's December 22nd, right? Literally Christmas Eve, and I drive my car into a utility pole, a thick wooden one, and my car spun and hit a fire hydrant, and then I landed on the edge of a hill going down into a parking lot. If I had a passenger, they would have been dead. And I woke up the next day, I went straight back to the office. I have a cast on my hand. I walk in, I'm like, I almost died last night and I'm still early. Don't be late.
Welcome back, everybody.
The gloves are off.
That should say Trish Browning now,
right?
So, guys, if you're just doing it, you missed the whole
boss
show.
just showed up.
Yeah.
We'd better behave.
This is a special rogue edition of The Gloves Are Off. We did it in the evening so we can try and get as many people through here as possible. I'm exhausted. You?
No, I'm good.
You good?
I can keep rolling.
You want? Okay, so
Another
Brandon's
half
taking
hour
over
coming.
after the next break. I hope you enjoyed it. We had some amazing guests, and they were all speakers that are going to be on the event. And they basically shared a little bit of their stories and who they are, maybe some of their experiences and what they have to offer. And the message has always been the same, right? And it's about coming out, getting value because you're going to get it, right? I saved the best for last. and
Dun, dun, dun.
I talk about so many people and how I have respect. How am I supposed to have a serious conversation? Like,
Trish is just looking at me like, what?
I'm like, you guys have been having fun all afternoon in here.
But you saved the best for last.
She's waiting, like, so I could finish, like propping her up and stuff. And,
All right, Brandon, quiet.
Anyways, I say this.
You got me, boss.
Gloves are off. the original version.
The original version.
Alrighty, we're all ears now. We're all ears.
She's just waiting to hear it. Anyways, I saved the best for last. I talk about how I have respect for so many people. I have the utmost respect for this lady beside me. She is my wife and my business partner.
Which side?
And you're too hairy, guy. And I tell you something, when you talk about doing whatever it takes, Trish does that. When it comes to meeting deadlines and filling the paper and everything else, with her team that she manages, she always gets the job done. So I wanted to bring her in last, and the two of them are crying. So I'll keep talking until they get over themselves. And Trish, why don't you give a little bit of insight about the event itself first?
So what?
Can you talk?
Sure.
Are you okay?
Yes. I just have to
Your
make
glasses
sure that
fogged up?
No, just making sure I get all these emotional tears out of my eyes, happy tears. It's funny because, sometimes you'll say it to me, or sometimes I'll hear you say it to other people, and every time you say it, it's like, oh. Right? Because I don't get used to that. So thank you for sharing it. What am I adding to the conversation today? Because I don't.
What
really,
are you adding that the other
I don't
speakers
really
have?
want to. No, I don't really want to rehash too much. I know we're just trying to close up the show. So
why don't you
what
talk
would
a little bit?
like
We've
me-
talked about all the speakers. Why don't you talk a little bit about the
event?
the market zone itself, and the vendor side?
Okay, so I guess what I want to really share is something that came to me today. 4 years for the event. We've grown from having like 30 vendors to 80 vendors now. And the reason why we started the event was because we've been to events. We find out that, there's a lot of vendors that are there and hardly any people coming out to it. And that was the main reason why we decided that we were going to do this, because we realized that we've got the marketing power. We have to reach into people. We know how to market things, so why not start our own? We've got the community support. Our vendors, they come out every year, and we're starting to build the event. But we still have that missing link, because what some of our small businesses don't realize is, everybody wants to be a part of something that is big, but nobody really wants to start contributing when that thing is small. They just want it to be big and bright, and
then they complain of the price.
And then and they want to show up, and that's okay, because who doesn't want to be a part of something that is big and successful? Who wants to take the risk, and try to do something, maybe put their money in it and it doesn't go according to plan, right? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna sit it out. I'm gonna see how you're gonna do. But what some people don't realize yet is that if we don't support each other, we're always gonna stay small.
Yeah.
We're
100%.
always going to be, these few, these few things trying to do, our own separate thing, and no one's gonna really grow. So what does the event mean to me? I think it means coming together, supporting each other, because nobody will support your business if you're not willing to support anybody else's business, right? And we can't always want to take. We have to give as well. And it's only when we give do we ever receive. So
why don't you give me a free booth?
Because I didn't get the banquet hall for free. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I've had
that'd be the first thing that you would hear, right?
I've had people ask. They are vendors that will ask. Well, why does it have to be $450 and $650? Because the banquet hall has to be paid for. The vendors that are coming in and installing the setups have to be paid for. The marketing has to be paid for. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be paid for, and I would love to give it for free, but we're not funded by the government of Ontario. So we kind of have to do it together. And I encourage our small businesses to come out, support the event so that our community can support you. Because if you don't put yourself out there, they're not going to know who you are, and they're not going to be able to come out and support you. And I hope I didn't go off on a tangent. I hope I added to the conversation.
Too late.
It's
valid points.
No, it's because I've been talking to a lot of people. My God, I spend a lot of time on the phone, and I hear from all kinds of different vendors. I've got those people that as soon as they hear the event is booked, they're back on board. I have one vendor that will travel in from Montreal, and I've been calling him on the wrong phone number, and he knows it like it's next month, and he's like, why hasn't she called me yet? Like, where is her number? And I finally connected with him, and he's like, oh my God, Trish, like, why did you wait so long to call me? And I'm like, I've been calling you. And he's like, no, you have not been calling the right number. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then we have those small businesses where they have to think about it, and they have to budget, and they have to do all of this stuff in order to make the decision to be there. So, if you're struggling, just let's just have that conversation, because a lot of our vendors, they come from all walks of life. Everyone's trying to do something, right? Everybody wants to promote and have their business grow into something that is a success. But half the time we're not willing to share what some of our, what are holding us back. But we've got solutions, guys. I talk to my vendors, and we work stuff out because we really want them to be there.
If you back up a little bit, and you said some of the smaller companies, and they scrimp and save to try and be there, and some of them, the thing is that you got to understand something. There's no significant company that's out there that has never not invested in advertising, right? And in order to have something you've never had, you got to be willing to do stuff you've never done. And the thing is if you're scrimping and saving because business is slow, you need to do something different. This stems back to what I originally talked about, where I've seen these businesses where they're slow and they don't do anything different, and they just continue on that path to the point where the for lease sign is up.
It's a catch-22, and we get it. I absolutely get it when
yeah, but why prolong the agony?
I get it when people say I can't come up with it, or no, I wasn't prepared for that number, whatever the case is. But there's always a solution. Make a plan. I know that best. I know what it's like to think that it's impossible, and you got to figure it out.
Yeah, but the thing is some people, they have rent, they have all these things that they have to pay for, and eventually that money's going to run out if you don't do anything different. If it's slow, you need to get in front of people. You have to do something different, and this is a perfect avenue and a perfect platform to do that. You're talking about, last year there was 600, 700 people that came through. This year we're pushing towards 1,000. That's a potential for you to get your company in front of it, not to mention network with the companies that are there, the other vendors that are there who could probably use your service. If you are a restaurant and you cater, well, you got, 70 other companies, 80 other companies that might potentially use your service. So, you got to look at the different networking things. How many booths are left?
We're looking at about 30. No, maybe about 25.
25 booths left to go out of 80 booths. So time is running out. I guarantee you they're going to be done within the next week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm working my plan. I know what I need to do.
Yeah. So how can people call you for booths?
647-722-6298. It's the office number. But you can always reach me on my phone. I take late night calls on my cell as well. 647-408-1334.
And guys, understand that this is not cheaped out event. This is one of the top banquet halls. This is, the top.
It's an awesome event.
Pipe and drape company comes in. We give you full out pipe and drape for your booth. You get a table with the special tablecloth that goes with it. It is a full out presented booth. And the whole event itself, lots of money gets invested into this. So understand, when you come there, you get marketing, you get to be there. You're going to be represented properly, and it's about association, right? It's about being involved. We got serious now, right? But it's the truth, right?
Yeah. And the vendors, when you come out to an event, you guys are all there. The vendors are there for one reason. It's to meet each other, promote themselves, just kind of network.
you might be able to make 1 or 2 great connections that will last. Like those relationships will last 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. And that's when you're really starting to win. Or, you know, you might meet somebody who will complement what it is that you do. I know some of our vendors have moved on and partner with each other to do things. You know, they might go to other shows together because they've met each other there. You know, they have great energy. You know, they can work together. So why not continue?
We
that
had one
relationship?
vendor that launched their business at 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
She launched her own brand, and I mean, she's doing amazing now, right? Because of that. So it's a good way to launch your stuff, to catapult it, to get a chance to, you know, get in front of people right away. It's just an amazing chance. I mean, Brandon was a... You're alive?
I'm alive. I mean, yeah.
Brandon was a vendor at all of them.
Yeah.
All the events, yeah. And I mean, the experience that you had, I mean, quickly...
Okay.
You're up, Brandon. It's your turn.
Yeah, you know, it's from the first event that we ever had there. You know, we've watched it grow from strength to strength. We watched it get bigger and bigger. We've watched it get more and more professional. And the fact that you're doing it 4 years, this is year 4. It's like there's a threshold, and usually 3 years is the threshold. If you can get past 3 years and you go into year 4, then 5, it's like now people are looking for you. People are like, this is the event that I want to get into. But here's the deal. When you get into the event as a vendor first and you experience it and you understand what it's like and you see the connections you can make and you can get some sales there, showing the products, introducing people, doing those type of things, you know, you're in a position where the moment that the next one's booked, there's already a relationship built up. Because when you start to build up these relationships, who do you think is going to get first pick? That's the reality.
Well, not only that, like, think about it. You know, you've been at the show 3 years in a row. You've built relationships. These guys have seen you. You probably haven't seen them anywhere else because you're not connected with them, right? You show up at the show, it's like, hey, Brandon, you know, how is it going, right? And then eventually the opportunity might present itself where this year you can do business with each other because now you need each other, right? But you've been building on that relationship for the last 3 years.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
So guys, grab your tickets, TCBS 2018.eventbrite.ca. Man, so many things you got to remember. For if you guys want to give us a call, 647-722-6298. Give Trish a call, 647-722-6298 for vendor booths. Guys, you want to be there. We'd appreciate it. Like, share, support, leave your comments, and we are done. Thank you so much. How many hours did we do?
I think we did probably just under 3 hours.
Wow.
And I wonder why I'm running out of steam.
It's always like this. We have too much fun with this stuff, and it goes, you know, longer.
Totally.
And you know what? I should share. If you're new at business, my goodness, give us a call because we can definitely help you. We coach our vendors on what to do at the event. We share certain things. You get free consultation with 2 people who've been running a business for 12 years.
Yeah, there's experience that comes with that. You know, again, running the events, seeing the vendors, you know, there's nuances that you see and that you learn as it goes through, and you see issues and you're like, okay, next year, okay, don't do that, do it this way, and just
But not only that, like, you know, we've seen so many vendors, we've done, you know, so much over the last 3 years. It's like you have experience doing it. So when somebody throw something your way, you can work through it very quickly. I have vendors that are very new at this and they don't know, it's the first time they're doing a show, and we're able to coach them. Last year I had a vendor and you know, like she was so grateful for the information that we'd given. I walked her from start to the end. At the end of the event last year, she showed up back at the office and she was very grateful for the information that she'd received along the way because we'd helped her. Not only did she sign up, but you know, we walked her through the process and helped with ideas and things like that. And at the end, she was like, now I know how to attend a show. Now I know what I need. Now I know what to expect. You know, she gained information. So if you've never done a show before and you're looking to promote your business, you don't have to do it alone. Like, we're here to help.
Community support.
All right, so with that, we are done. Feel free to give us a call. We're here for you. And we'll take care.
See ya.
Have a great evening. Thanks for joining us. See you May 6th. Be
May
there.
6th.
I'm loving it. This is my first year here, and I was so excited.
I've had so many people come, so much traffic. I'm absolutely tired.
Because of all the exposure that I got from this great event, I was able to grow and evolve and create my very own label.
It's been a fantastic event.
This is my second year.
This is a great and awesome event connecting to the community.
So yeah, we urge you to join here. It's a great turnout.
So for those of you who are not here this year and have business, make sure that you're here next year because it's only going to get better every year.
So I will be back next year. So thank you. This is so awesome.
So people who aren't here, what would you tell them?
You're missing out. Come out and have some fun.
T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6,